Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liyana and I am the Chief Executive Officer of our company, Piao Origins. In today's presentation, I want to introduce all of you to our company's current project, the Hydropod. Okay. Me and my coworkers have been working on this project for the past few months, and in order to start building our project, the first step that we had to take was to think of a problem that we wanted to solve. We focused most of our attention into the field of gardening because although it's a very comforting activity, we find that it is very stressful. So we wanted to create a solution for beginner gardeners to temporarily take away the stress of starting off gardening before they are ready to plant their plants on proper land.
I think it's okay.
So that brings us to our pitch, an automatic watering pot that specifically asks the users for the type of plant that they want to grow. And with that information, they will use a built-in clock to set the timer for the watering times as well as the correct amount of water depending on that specific plant requirements. With that simple premise, we wanted to improve upon it by using a value proposition. We wanted to add features to make it stand out in the crowd and make it unique. So we wanted to add features such as adding multiple modes, having the pot display the recommended type of soil, as well as collecting rainwater for future use. To see if our product would stand up to user expectations, we conducted an interview with a few potential customers. We found that they struggle from stress from having very little time or money, as well as the proper tools to maintain a plant's health. And they would benefit if those plants that are tedious or very hard to manage would no longer be an issue that they needed to worry about. And we also found that most of our interviewees only did gardening as a hobby, so they would also benefit if their hard work were maintained even when they are away. And with that information, we started to build our prototype. Here are a few previews of our prototype, including a turnaround, as well as a preview on its functionality and its screens. And afterwards, we wanted to see how it would compare to already existing brands. For example, this brand was a very popular option among our interviewees. So we wanted to compare it to our product. As you can see, it is very expensive. It is around the 300 price range, and it's also very complicated. It has very many components that make it very hard to understand.
Sorry, Anis, your time is up. Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
All right, judges, we'll begin the Q&A. We have 7 minutes.
Anis, thank you for your presentation. So in selling the pot, is this something that you intend to sell directly to consumers, through stores, or through online, or what's the go-to-market approach here?
The market approach for our company was to sell it physically, so to directly to the customers, as well as online, selling it on websites and such. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, Anis, I'm very interested in your pot itself. What kind of material mostly? How do you make it portable? Is it durable? And then how many varieties of pots in terms of sizes and in the catering for all kinds of plants or shoots or trees?
For the material, we wanted to use, since it has a screen that the user can enter, we wanted to use computer parts as well as plastic for the overall pot itself. In terms of size and design, we've only had like smaller designs to make it more portable and light.
And these days, we are very interested in being environmentally friendly, you know. So your hydropod, how do you make sure that, is it recyclable, it doesn't emit any gases, and to ensure the technical part so that it's very friendly to the environment?
Our plan was to use recycled plastic, but we haven't considered much outside of that.
All right, Judge Mike and Nani.
Congratulations on a fantastic idea. You know, I don't have green fingers, so you would definitely be solving a huge problem for me. I just want to get clarity on the different types of plants. So do you need a different pot for every type of plant, or is there different settings in your pot that apply to the different plants?
No, you can use the same pot for multiple types of plants. You can change the type of plant when you are finished growing that plant. So you can reuse it multiple times. You don't need to use a different pot for multiple plants.
Right. Thank you, Anis.
Mike here, Anis. Good presentation, well done. How long can I go on holiday for before my plant dies?
Sorry?
How long can I go on holiday for before my plant dies?
You can leave it outside for it to collect rainwater. So if it is a particular, if you're living in a continent that's particularly very dry or sunny, there might be less chances for it to stay alive. But if you are not there to refill it yourself, it can collect rainwater for you. So that's not an issue you need to worry about for some time.
Okay, great. And in an average household, say an average apartment in Malaysia, how many of these do you think that you would need? How many plants does the average person have?
How many can a person have? Is that correct?
How many do they have? So what's your market research on how many plants does the average person have?
We hadn't researched on the average amount of plants that a regular user has, but for gardeners, we have done a little bit of research, and we found that they have multiple plants. Sometimes, like they have vegetables and such. So we haven't researched for regular users, but we have researched for avid gardeners, as you can say, I guess.
Okay, cool. I like your idea. I think you should definitely keep going with it. Well done.
Wonderful, Anis. I definitely agree. It's a wonderful idea. I have a question. The pot. Is it possible for it to be a bigger pot, or is it? I'm seeing while in the presentation it looks like a smaller pot. Just in case, maybe I want to grow tomatoes on my balcony, or I'd want to maybe grow parsley or something. I'd want it to be a bigger pot so I can accommodate more. So is it smaller? Is it a small pot, or is it a pot that can accommodate if I want to do a little bit more of like maybe a small garden? I mean, a small vegetable garden on my balcony.
Okay, from what I can understand from your question, you are concerned with like bigger plants since it is very small. So like, for example, tomatoes that you want to grow with that pot. Can you do that? My answer would be yes, you can, but you have to move the plant when it starts to get ripe and be a little bit too big for that pot. To proper land, so it can't be used forever. Our solution was to like temporarily take away the stress. Does that answer your question?
Wonderful. This is really such a great idea. Yes, that does answer my question. Wonderful. This is really such a great idea. And I think with the rise of the plant mom, plant dad trend that I am seeing online on social media, this is definitely something to look at in building a community around those people. So whether it be Facebook groups and such, but I feel like this works so much better when there's a community rallying around, this product. There's lots of plant moms I'm seeing on Instagram. So really tap into things like that, and I think this is something you should go ahead with.
All right, thank you, judges. And also, thank you, Anis, Liyana.